All right, guys, welcome to another weekly market review for ourselves. Let's dive straight into it and see what we have for this coming week. Okay, so as usual, again, this is not financial advice. This is just our own opinions or personal views that we have put out. All right, so Johnson & Johnson, okay, something about them. They actually agreed to pay about 9 billion over 25 years to settle a lot of claims, all right, thousands of claims based on their baby powder. So this was something that actually came out last year. Their baby powder, due to asbestos contamination, was causing cancer. Okay, so the company pulled the powder off the shelves earlier this year, and again offered to compensate for the injuries and the many customers and clients that have suffered for this as well. All right, so 9 billion over a span of 25 years for themselves. Now, in the grand scheme of things, for Johnson & Johnson, such a big company for themselves, $9 billion is honestly a small dent for themselves. All right, but in terms of the stock, right, it's done fairly well for itself, fairly decent. So yeah, I thought this was interesting news to take note of. All right, J&J having to agree and pay some fines for their powders and product for themselves. Now, second one is Google. So again, as we know, all your big tech firms are cost cutting, laying off employees and slashing jobs for themselves. And now Google are basically also cutting back on many other things, from things like what do you call this, replacing computers and equipments, tightening and restricting on how employees can get things like tape and things like staplers as well, right? So I thought this was a bit hilarious, guys. But very simply, I just put this here because I wanted to show you guys that, hey, look, all your firms, again, and companies are seeing how they can cost cut for themselves, how they can reduce costs for themselves, how they can save back money for the company. And again, all this massive growth that we've held during COVID, where companies were hiring left, right, and center for jobs that are no longer needed or available for themselves. So you see a lot of companies, cost cutting and dialing it back down, just making sure their statements are healthy, their financial state is healthy, because with all these things going on with your banks and potential recession and all these fears around, it's better to be safe and make sure you're in a highly liquid and highly safe position for yourself. Okay, so Google for themselves, this was an article that came out. I thought it was pretty hilarious to see them with their cost-cutting measures. Okay, so another news or event that came out, this was the main one for the week, guys, that you needed to take note of. This was the main thing that came out, but very simply, it was non-farm employment change, NFP, and unemployment rate. Okay, so if you can see, what analysts forecasted was 3.6%, but what actually came out was 3.5% respectively. Okay, and again for NFP, forecasting 228, but what came out was 236K for itself. All right, so again, what we can see very simply is that job growth is slowing down. Okay, job growth is slowing down. Companies are not hiring aggressively. They've tapered down this. Your job growth are slowing down, which is in line with what we've been seeing for the data that has been coming out with your high interest rates. Okay, with all your big tech firms laying off employees, definitely there is slow job growth or close to no job growth at this point of time. Okay, so add that on with your high inflation environment, it is kind of a mixed and unsettling situation that we are in now. Okay, so this was an event that happened, did shake up the markets, but because Friday was Good Friday, only yesterday when market opens on Monday, we did see some directional moves in the market. Okay, so with that, I'm going to end it off here, and let's take a look at the charts to see what is going to happen or possibly happen in the upcoming week. Okay, guys, so we are on the charts. You can see over here, we are on the S&P 500 for ourselves, SPY. And very simply, again, like what I said last week, it has come up to my levels. So market rallied. It came up to about my 409, 410 level. You can see that I've drawn here. And I did say if we could go higher, we could see it test about 415 for ourselves. Okay, so for this week, we have to see because there is some high impact and volatile events that are happening. And also for the month of April, guys, we kickstart earnings season. All right, so earnings season is here. Companies are going to be releasing their earnings. So that's going to be affecting and giving us direction on where the markets can go for ourselves. Okay, so if market decides to come back down, then we can see it possibly go back down, you know, even go all the way to about our 400 level, 200 EMA, which you can see, which is around here for ourselves. All right, but if market does continue to rally, then we can possibly see it hit 415 and maybe even new highs for itself. Right, so I'm not sure again how it can go, because we've got earnings season and we've got all these high impact events that are coming out. So it really can go either direction. If it goes up, then we're looking at about 415. If it does come down, 400 is the level that it will definitely touch first. Okay, for QQQ. Okay, so again with QQQ officially for the Nasdaq 100, it is out of a bear market. All right, it has rallied hard. We have made, as you can see for yourself over here, we are making lower lows and higher highs for ourselves. Okay, so QQQ officially out of the bear market, going strong so far. It is what has been leading this rally as of recently. All your tech stocks have been the one that has been leading this rally. So I did say prices can go up, and if it did, it could possibly hit 320. You can see prices actually went up to my 320 level. Now, again, because earnings season is here, because we've had such a massive rally, if it does pull back, it may pull back all the way to 310. But if it does go higher, then we can see it even start touching the 330 level for ourselves, right? So very, very, very interesting to see how this all unfolds. Okay, so that's it from the charts, and let's take a look at what exactly are the high impact events we need to watch out for. Okay, guys, so what to look out in the upcoming week? Very, very simple. Number one, CPI data. Okay, CPI data happening very simply on Wednesday. All right, today is Tuesday, which is tomorrow. You can see for yourself, 8:30 p.m. this data is coming out. And again, analysts are forecasting about 5.2%. So if you notice, they are forecasting a drop. Okay, a drop of about 0.8%. And let's see what actually happens with the actual numbers. If it is in line with this, you know, I think investors will be happy, because it shows that inflation is coming down pretty quickly for ourselves. But if not, then investors might be spooked or fearful, because they'll be worried about the Fed's thinking of keeping the interest rate hikes going and keeping it increasing constantly. Okay, so this is something we need to watch out, and how the markets will react to this. Okay, so CPI on Wednesday is important. The next thing is actually Thursday, which is PPI. All right, so PPI, again, looking at production, seeing whether your production is getting more expensive or less expensive. Also another sign of inflation. Okay, so individuals are going to be looking out for this. And then we have unemployment claims. So the number of unemployed people claiming for unemployment insurance, if this number goes up, it does mean we're seeing a spike in unemployment. It could also affect the markets for ourselves. Okay, so another high impact event or news that could affect the markets. And then lastly, we also have retail sales that is coming out, generally economic data and UOM, consumer sentiment. These are all economic data. And again, economic data can affect how the markets react and move accordingly as well. So really, we got about 3 days of high impact events. We really got to watch out for this and see how market goes for ourselves. Okay, so if you guys are trading, please take note of this for yourself and be safe and trade cautiously for yourselves. But again, guys, as I always say, despite all this volatility, the negativity, or even, you know, just on a week-to-week basis, our guys over here at TWC are making really solid returns for yourself. So you can see Titus over here. Look at him. My first Virgin solo trade. Literally, this is his first trade that is done with us, guys, and by himself. And because he has learned the right system, the right way to go about this from A to Z, you can see already he's succeeding tremendously well on his first few trades for himself. So made 90 bucks in 15 minutes and 105. Okay, literally in one night, guys, just these two trades, he's already made close to $200 for himself in his pocket. Passive income just like that. Okay, you have Keith over here again making another 224 bucks, 159. Chun Guan trading smaller amount, he made about 11%. That's about $100. So it doesn't matter whether you have a big portfolio or small portfolio, guys. These guys know or have the system that allows them to consistently make returns for themselves. Okay, and so if they have more capital, they use that for themselves, they make more money. If they have a smaller capital, it doesn't matter because they are making some pretty good returns for a start, and they just build up their capital until they can use more for their trades. Okay, so excellent work from these guys. You have Adrian making 17%, solid, small portfolio, making good returns. You can see some of these guys, 380 bucks, 175 bucks, really solid stuff. Okay, Adrian again, 122 bucks. Jasmine making 91, 100, 111, 4.24%, 480 bucks. Fantastic. Okay, Keith again, Edit making some returns. And again, guys, the system that we have here is so good. Literally, guys, when you lose a minimal amount, all right? Minus 1.86%, $100. But when you win, guys, all right? When you win, look at Aloysius. When he wins on his next trade, he more than covers his loss and he makes exceptionally well for that night, all right? If he deducts his loss, he made about 706 bucks in one night for himself. So that's the way or the system that we teach here, guys. When you lose small, but when you win, you're always going to be winning big for yourself, okay? And it just proves it from their results, okay? And again, another one, Aloysius making 1K a day for himself. Really solid returns, okay? Now, again, Chun Guan, Desmond, Prash, all these guys making good returns. 24% from Prash over one night. Chun Guan, Desmond, solid returns, right? Titus, Keith, really consistent returns, and these guys have been killing it. So again, guys, if you have not joined our community, please go ahead and do so. Number one, we have a free Discord channel over here. You can see it over here, bit.ly/IWC Discord. You can type in this link, all right, or this URL for yourself. If not, please go ahead and scan the QR code over here. You can join our free Discord and community. This is where we post trade up, what I call this weekly market review sessions for ourselves, and any investing resources that we have, it is also published here. If not, also please check out our Instagram page, okay? Join it as well. We do post some interesting technical analysis, some interesting charts that we look at, as well as any important macroeconomic information, okay? So that is bit.ly/IWC Insta. If you can't find that, please scan the QR code that is over here. All right, so number one, our Discord channel, and number two, our Instagram channel. Okay, so with that, guys, we've come to the end of our review. Okay, I look forward to speaking to you guys next week. So just take care for this week, guys. There's a lot of high impact events. Stay safe, trade safe, and I will see you next week for yourself.